And we're live. Welcome to the SOSCAST, baby. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. We are now currently on episode 15. They said we wouldn't make it to 10. They said we wouldn't make it to 12. Look at us sitting at 15. Little quinceañera time right now, right? Special guest in the building, David Pata. Special guest, Marcelo Hernandez. You might recognize this young man from, I think, episode 3. And now he's back in the building. Marcelo, welcome back, sir.
Buongiorno, my friend.
Buongiorno.
Welcome back, Marcelo.
Like a true half Dominican, half Cuban guy, he says buongiorno.
Buongiorno, baby.
Okay, he's been traveling all over the world. How you feeling, buddy?
I've been good, dude. I've been good. I've been traveling a little bit, been seeing the country.
Yeah, performing. You were with, what comedians were you with?
I was with Gilbert Gottfried a week ago, the legendary Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
And I also did some shows with Tim Dillon earlier this month.
Tim Dillon. Gilbert, give me your best
Gottfried.
Gilbert
Wow.
Gottfried impression, if you can. If you dare.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Affleck.
That's how he got paid. I forgot about that.
Dude, the money there, baby.
The voice. Can you give me one?
I'm not really good
Gilbert
at it.
Gottfried.
Just do one.
It's a very.
You do it. You do it.
It's a very annoying voice.
It
He's
is.
made it. Some people, make it on their skills. Some people make it on their looks, like David. Some people make it on their humor, maybe like me, or maybe some money. Some people make it on their business savviness, like PBD. That guy made it on his voice.
100%.
It's an annoying voice.
Yes.
But good for him. You got to, work with what you got. David, how you feeling? You just got back from New York. You saw your favorite band. I'm hyped up for you. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready to talk some money, and Tiffany is walking in with what will be holding me over for the next 2 hours.
What is that?
It's a nice, warm cup of American Joe.
I kind of
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany. Way to go. Tiffany runs our social media here. But anyway, welcome to the SOSCAST. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. If you don't know, I'm your host, Adam Sosnick, for the name, the SOSCAST. There we go. And I'm here to help you build your wealth and save that money. David, what do I say every episode about most people?
Most people are broke.
Most people also what? Most people won't take an hour out of their day
won't take an
to
hour
watch
out
a
of
show
day.
like this.
They will
Most people
not.
don't want to improve. Don't be like most people.
What do I say about most people? They're broke.
Unfortunately, that's true. I didn't say most people are poor, but they are broke. They don't know what to do with their money, like we talked about with Seinfeld. You can get the money, but what do you do with the money?
Right.
You can take the reservation.
Anyone can just get money.
Anyway, the purpose of this show is to basically get you guys up to date with what's going on in the financial world so you don't have to do it yourself. So our goal over here is to find the most value-taining financial stories of the week, scrub them up, and make them sound nice for you. We want to bring value, but what do we want to do, Marcelo?
We want to tain.
We want to tain. That was not scripted. So don't be like most people. Thank you. You guys ready to talk some money?
I'm ready, dude.
Okay,
do it, dude.
Listen, let me tell you something. Arguably the most important thing that someone can have, okay? You might say health, wealth, friends, family. No matter where you're at, there's something very important you should have, and that is confidence. Confidence is key. Confidence, whether it's business, it's sports, whether it's relationships, or whether it's life, just being confident. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time, but I'm confident. I'll tell you, hell, I believe it. No, I do know what I'm talking about. Anyway, confidence is key. And then part of that confidence, David, Marcelo, friends out there in Valuetainment land, in YouTube land, let me say hi. David, if you see some people, some of our friends, you can say hi to them while we're doing this.
Luis,
Usual suspects.
Young John.
I'm pulling this up, part of confidence are the words that you use. And certain words are more effective than others. Certain words can go a long way, while certain words might hurt your cause, right? So there's some experts. When you think of words, there's experts like linguists, psychologists, recruiters, CEOs even, that basically say these are the words that you should use and these are the words that you should stay away from. So let's get into this list. What do you think?
Let's do it.
So you ever have a conversation with somebody and they say, so here's what I'm saying on page 3, you can see that the TPS report, does that make sense?
No.
Does that make sense?
Zero clue.
Does that make sense?
I completely
Yep.
zoned out after you said
So
that.
what they're saying is the whole does that make sense? It's not a productive question. Why is that? It's because what they're saying is that you should ask for is what are your thoughts? Because basically what you're looking for is feedback when you say, does that make sense? Does that make sense? They're either going to say yes, or if the answer is no, they're still going to say yes because they don't want to sound stupid. Does that make sense? No. Of course they're going to say yes for the most part. So when you say yes, you're just kind of just moving the conversation along. So the difference between saying, does that make sense? Or what are your thoughts is getting feedback or just getting a yes or no question. Marcelo, does that make sense?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Yes, I'll say.
But Marcelo,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Well, I think
You see how he's speaking now?
Yeah. Right.
Boom, go.
I was gonna say that what it really works
Yes.
on doing is making the people talk. It's like
Yes.
if you say, "Does that make sense?" They don't have to be paying attention or not.
Exactly.
They can just say yes, and then you're moving on. But if you say, "What are your thoughts?" That's also kind of being like, "Were you paying attention?"
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Give me some feedback. David, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. How awkward.
what?
How awkward. Yeah, like, what are your thoughts?
Right.
Well,
I
man,
wasn't
think
even
you
listening.
Made a great point.
Anyway, so words matter. Little things like that. So rather than saying, I actually had a phone call with a colleague or a business guy, and after every point he made, he said, does that make sense?
Oh, God.
And I just by default said, yes. Does that make sense? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't paying attention, 5 minutes in. We spoke for a half hour. Does that make sense? It was almost like it was something that was built into his DNA. Like he took a class and said, does that make sense? And he was told to repeat it. So basically, number one, replace does that make sense with what are your thoughts? And you'll get actual feedback rather than a yes or no response.
I like it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Thank you. We're looking to make sense here. 2 cents. All right, number 2 on this list. Instead of saying, maybe we should try, or maybe we should go here, how about maybe we should do this? What you should say is, let's try.
No, maybe.
No, maybe. It's basically the difference between being confident, let's do this, or being wishy-washy. Maybe we should go to the movies. Maybe we should go to the Mexican restaurant. Let's try the Mexican restaurant for dinner with confidence.
Wow, how authoritative.
Wow, how authoritative. You're showing up.
And they can reject you. They can say, "No, I don't want to try it," but
Yeah.
at least you sound like you're sure of what you're saying.
Confidence. This whole thing is about confidence. Are you believing in what you're saying? Let's try the new sushi restaurant. Maybe we should try the new sushi restaurant.
Do you see how his voice changed,
You see how-
audience? Do you see how the voice
That's
changes?
how I knew.
That's how you knew
yeah.
that I was being more confident in the first
100%.
one. Exactly. The voice change. So, stop. Basically, the using the word of maybe. Words matter again. Confidence matters. Confidence is key. Okay.
Right.
So maybe we should try stop using does that make sense? Or stop using does that make sense? See what I did there?
No, none of that made sense.
So that's number 2. You either believe in what you're talking about or you don't. And the maybe is sort of a disclaimer that you don't know what you're talking about. David. Okay. Number 3 on this list to help your confidence, lose the buts. Lose the buts. I'm not sure, but I think we should go to the mall today. Or this might be a stupid question, but what are your thoughts? No. Or I don't want to be too pushy, but can I have another soda? Relax. So what they're saying to say instead is whatever you were going to say after the but. Okay?
Gotcha.
Basically, they're saying don't add disclaimers to undermine yourself. So I don't want to be too pushy, but can I get another refill on my soda? Rather than doing that is,
Just be pushy.
can I have another refill on my soda? Okay, and when it applies to business, I don't want to be pushy, but you were going to get back to me with feedback on the new design layout of the plant, all right? Hey, you were going to get back to me with the design layout. What's the status? They're basically saying the whole concept here is just like get to the point.
Where's the button?
Stop using disclaimers. There it is. Stop undermining yourself. Okay? There's that. Any thoughts on that?
Oh, what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think disclaimers hurt you no matter what. It can't help you to put a disclaimer. I might be an idiot, but it's like, dude, just say what you're going to say. Disclaimers don't help. Unless it's medicine. Then you should include disclaimers for legal purposes.
Yes.
Take this X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
But if you're pregnant.
Yeah, but if you're pregnant,
Right.
if you're carrying child, you might not want to do that. Okay, number 4. We just talked about lose the butts. lose the just. Now, this is something that I do in emails all the time. Hey, Rick, just touching base.
I do that all the time.
Hey, Sally, just wanted to see how you're doing. Hey, Bill, just want to find out just shut with the just.
Yeah.
That's what they're basically saying. They just say, touching base, finding out. Again, we talked about not using a disclaimer unless someone's pregnant or whatever, you know, or checking the medicine, whatever that was. The just is just softening your message. It's sort of like you look weak.
Yeah.
You look weak. Again,
that's all I'm doing.
What was that right there? Just look at the sun.
Just
look at the.
Just checking in.
Just checking in. You don't need that.
That's all. Yeah.
Just shut up. Just say what you were gonna say.
Just say it. So it's almost like you're apologizing, right? It's like saying, I hate to bother you.
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
Also,
I'm bothering you, sir. What's the status of the TPS report?
Right. Also, like with, I feel like if you're asking somebody out or anything like that, you know, I was just wondering if.
Yes.
It's like.
I was just wondering what you're doing Saturday night.
What are you doing Saturday night?
Tell him.
Dude, it's honestly true though.
Yeah.
I think like in general, like no matter what business you're in, like even if you're like flipping burgers somewhere, if you were like need help, you're like, hey, I just wanted to see if you could help me over here at my station.
Let me get a little help over here, buddy.
Exactly. I would send you like I'd be like, oh, this person is weak. I don't have to listen to them.
Damn.
Well said. So anyway, we talked about not adding disclaimers. We talked about not adding words that soften your message. Again, not confidence. You know what possibly is the least confident word that you can constantly use for no reason is the word sorry. Stop apologizing if you haven't done anything wrong. If you messed up, you screwed up, you did something stupid, apologize, man up, and do it quickly and do it on point. I'm so sorry. Like, this is for sure. But if you didn't do anything wrong, why are you apologizing? Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just wanted you to know that my car's, you're not bothering me at all. Just tell me this is what happened. Hey, I'm so sorry, but would you mind moving? Hey, would you mind moving a couple feet away? That's not a big deal. So what they're saying to use instead is, excuse me, because you're butting in on what they're saying. Excuse me. So psychologists basically say that the people that use the word or overuse the word I'm sorry lack confidence. Again, confidence is key. Confidence is key.
Right. And
why do you think you see like really, let's just call a spade here, not such attractive in the face guys with pretty women? Confidence. And money. And money.
And maybe that's true.
But with money comes confidence.
More so the money. But yeah.
but more so the money.
And maybe that's true for jobs too. You see guys that are not that smart, but they got a great job or they're high up in the company, and you're like, damn, that guy's not that quick on his feet, but he's got confidence.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Marcelo.
Yes.
You have confidence.
Perhaps. It's definitely gotten me out of a few tight binds. If like I'm saying a joke that sucks or that doesn't really work, but then I just spit it out with some confidence.
Yep.
Might have saved my ass once or twice.
David.
Yeah.
You have confidence.
Yeah, I bet.
You were dating a girl at one point who said, I'm not that into good-looking guys.
We don't have to go into that.
That's
I mean, I also don't know where this is going. I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I don't know why you're bringing that up.
I'm just saying you have confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're calling him ugly?
I'm not saying that. The girl that he was dating did. But she liked his confidence.
Right.
Well, I'm
the
not
power.
saying
In
that.
addition to his mustache.
All right.
Yeah.
But the point is this. Confidence is key, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're ugly, if you're dumb, if you're not talented, confidence.
I'm telling you.
Just look at David.
Just look at his stupid face.
Look at Adam.
Look at that mustache. Confident.
Confidence.
No clue what I'm talking about. I'm going to sell you everything. This is what you need to do.
Confidence.
But confidence is key. And listen, last but not least, we talked about using what are your thoughts rather than does that make sense? Because you can get better feedback. We talked about being direct with let's try rather than maybe let's try. We talked about losing the but this. We talked about losing the just wanted to. We talked about stop saying sorry. But let's give a little bonus right here. Because when I hear people say this, it drives me mad. Know what I'm saying? So, I went to the park the other day. You know what I'm saying? So then, know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? No.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, you know what you should say instead of, you know what I'm saying? Nothing.
Right.
Stop saying that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a guy say that he was he plays sports. He was giving a press conference, and the Raiders, they did a good job, you know what I'm saying? And but our team, we tried real hard, you know what I'm saying? And eventually, we didn't win the game, you know what I'm saying? But no, buddy, I know what you're saying. Just say it.
Right, but that's also a business where you don't really got to speak that well to succeed. But if you're if you're in sales, if you're in work, even if you're a comedian, I got to stop saying, you know what I mean? I say it a lot. So I
As a comedian?
100%. I say it a lot, and I shouldn't. I should just be silent. So I think, in sports, it's different. But, like, if you're a salesman or a manager or, like, somebody that has to lead, you can't be, you know what I'm meaning.
You know what I'm meaning. Because basically it's a filler phrase that means nothing. It means nothing, and it actually irritates people. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you think they're dumb. You're like, are you keeping up with this?
It's just, I think it's one of those words that has made it into the culture that nobody said, just stop this right now and just get, you know what other word? And a friend of mine's father pointed this out to me, and I was like, right there. I just did it.
Like.
The word like.
Oh,
Right.
That one.
I was like, what? I actually, there was a girl I'm kind of friends with, talking to, whatever. And in person, we go out, we hang out, and I didn't notice it. But I called her on the phone, and I realized she said like every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice it in person. But on the phone, because there's no extracurricular stuff going on,
Right.
I'm just listening. And it's driving me mad how much she said. It's like I went to the bar, and like the guy said, like, and I was just chill out with all that. Know what I'm saying?
Say less. Say less,
Say
is
less.
the lesson here. Say less.
Say less.
Work on how you speak.
Anyway, exactly. Work on how you speak. Exactly. Thank you, Marcelo. No matter what business you're in, whether you're a comedian, whether you're a producer, whether you're the guy on the podium speaking, sports or not, words do matter. It's a huge part of business. So let me tell you something. It's not about, and it doesn't matter about brain, smart, resume. It's not about how much you know. It's about how you can convey what you know.
Right. How well can you communicate it? You know what
Exactly.
other word I hate? Whatchamacallit. Why are we still saying whatchamacallit? I don't like that.
Hey.
If
I
you
actually
can't
like
be an adult.
whatchamacallit.
You can't be a grown man and say whatchamacallit.
I like a whatchamacallit.
Oh, whatchamacallit.
You don't like that.
I'm not a fan of whatchamacallit.
Stop hanging out with third graders, David. Who's still using whatchamacallit?
Be careful. There are people in this office.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa,
All right.
let's
Sorry,
not go
Shots
there.
fired. Shots
Anyway,
fired.
guys, would you agree that confidence is key?
Oh, 100%.
Would you agree that words matter?
Yes.
Thank you, David. What is the one biggest takeaway you're going to take from this? What of these 5, 6 things are you going to start doing less or more of since you've done this? And let me know in the comments if there's one of these that you said, you know what, I always write. Like for me, I always say, just checking in with you, email. Just checking in.
Yeah.
Wanted to see, just wanted to send a follow-up. I'm going to stop that.
Yeah.
What are you going to stop doing or start doing? Go ahead, David.
Yeah, that's mine. The maybe we should try. The what was the first one? Does that make sense? I don't use that as much, but I have said it before. Those are the top 3.
I like saying, what are your thoughts? Marcelo.
I'm done with.
What are your thoughts?
I'm done with. You know what I mean.
You're done with
I
that.
say it a lot, man, on stage. It comes out, and I shouldn't. I should just leave it. I should say nothing. So I'm gonna say, you know what I mean, less.
So I'm going to say what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Somehow that all came out as one word. So I'm going to say numbers going to mean less.
Well, some people can't talk this fast, and for those people, I am
Respect to you. So that's that. David, if you would, as always, man the comments.
Yeah,
see if there's anything
absolutely.
going on. I know our friend Louis Alpha is all about that SOSCAST life. But again, it's not about how much you know. It's about how you can convey what you know.
Right. Juan Garcia has another filler word.
What'd he say?
The word so. So then, maybe.
Okay,
Actually,
David.
the more as I say it, maybe not.
Anyway.
Número 2.
Numero dos, let's move on. Listen, you just came back from New York. You just
did.
came back from, where were you again?
We were in Virginia.
Okay, I was just in Orlando.
Whoa.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in-person meetings are back. Conferences are back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, here at Valuetainment, we were back like
Yeah,
a year
I don't
ago.
think we were ever gone.
Okay, but we had the vault. We missed the vault in 2020, but we had it in 2021. But slowly but surely, full-on conferences and meetings are coming back. I was just at my first major insurance conference in 2 years. So, we all know that I have another career.
Yes, you do.
In the finance insurance
We're very proud of you.
perspective. Thank you, sir.
That's where you do most of the
Thank
talking.
you, sir.
about
That's
money.
where I do most of the talking. Just saying. And it was the first event in 2 years. So it was great. So it made me think about a video that I did about 6 months ago called 7 Ways to Network Better. So I looked at the video. It's doing pretty well. Check it out on YouTube, Valuetainment Economics. 7 Ways to Network Better. I wanted to bring up some of the key points, get your guys' perspective, and see if it still ranks true 6 months later. Why would it not? But again, 6 months ago, there weren't in-person meetings.
Right.
So can we do this quick rundown real quick?
Let's do
What are
it.
your thoughts, Marcelo?
Ooh, there it is. Already implementing
That makes sense.
Thank you.
it. Go for it.
So number one of the 7 ways to network better, there's a lot of don'ts in here, things to don't do. Number one was don't show up blind. What does that mean? A lot of these meetings or conferences will have an agenda or a pre-attendee list is what it's called. Basically, who's going to be registered to show up? Who's going to be there? And the number one thing that you should understand is from that list, I have to meet these 3 people. There's going to be 1,000 people at these conference. These are my main targets to meet.
Right.
A lot of these conferences, sometimes it's 1 day, sometimes it's 3 days. Very rarely is it longer than that. But there's going to be a 1,000 people there. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Make a list of who you want to see and meet those people. So that's number one. Don't show up blind. Now, if there's no attendee list, maybe that means showing up and seeing what's the schedule looking like. Because sometimes you can just show up like, I don't know what's going on. You're just kind of lost at these meetings or these conferences. But you can show up, go on the website, go on the app, and say, all right, this is the schedule. This is going to be there. Go in with a game plan. As always, a game plan is always a good thing. That's number one.
I also think that these are 7 things that not only help you network better, but just help you have better relationships in general. Like I think no matter what you're doing, whether because maybe not a lot of people are going to networking events, but they're going anywhere. They're going to a job interview. They're going to a business meeting. They're going to meet somebody that could potentially give them a job in the future. Like all these things ring true for anything you're pulling up to professionally.
You brought up a good point. Not a lot of people go to networking events.
Right.
And my response to that is, why not? No matter what field you're in, you could still go to networking events, business meetings, conferences. Come to the vault.
It's your give a shit level. How much do I actually give a shit
The
about
give a
this?
shit level. What story was that? We talked about that. What's your
did.
give a shit level? I think 2 weeks ago.
Oh, ways to become a top performer.
Yes.
Here, yeah.
Do you give a shit? That's
Yeah.
probably the most important. Man, I don't give a shit. All right.
Yeah.
Well, clearly you're not going to perform well. Thank you, David. You're on point. That coffee. Number 2, don't show up late. Okay? This ain't a party. All right? Sometimes it's cool. The party starts at 9, you stroll in at 9:45, 10, you're with a couple friends, you show up late. That's kind of cool, fashionably late. Party starts at 9, you're there at 8:45. It's like, dude, how eager are you to be here?
It's kind of how we roll with this podcast. Fashionably late.
Fashionably late, exactly. But to these conferences, especially if it's the conference is from noon to 5 o'clock today, get your ass there at noon.
Right.
Like, don't be late. Don't show up fashionably late to a business conference. It's like a business meeting. If you have a business meeting, you show up on time.
There's nothing fashionable about being late to business.
Not late to business.
0.
What are your thoughts, Marcelo?
Don't be late, dude. What is it? There's a weird feeling you get when you are late. Like you just feel inferior. Like you walk in there and everybody's there earlier than you, and they look at you, they look down on you, right? It's like this energy. It's like, oh, look at this poor kid.
You always make all the noise. Where can I sit?
He doesn't have his life together. Where can I sit? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Keep going. Keep going. Check into the hotel. It's not a good look.
That's where you start to throw excuses. It's just it looks weak upon you.
Let me tell you something. And I am someone who is notorious for running a little bit late. We run 5 minutes late for this podcast today. For business meetings, I show up. Again, I was in Orlando for 3 days. The conference started Monday. When did I show up? Sunday night. Checked into the hotel. Ready to go. Just a little perspective for you.
By the way, guys,
Just a little perspective.
to the people watching, we are ready at 4 p.m. We're all sitting, and we all decide to be a little late. Just for the sake of fashion. Oh, well,
kinda-
just make them wait.
Fashionably late. Thank you, David, for that.
Go ahead.
Number 3, don't be sloppy. This, to me, I don't know if it's the most important, but it's high up there. I just came from this meeting, and there was a group of men speaking with another man.
Ugh.
And the man was giving the presentation, and the other group of men, I know that they were thinking the whole time, dude, you got to lose like 100 pounds. The guy was 500 pounds, sloppy. He was a mess. But not only was he physically, his shirt was untucked, just didn't look good. I told the story about this. Some guy showed up in a meeting, I swear to God on my life, with about a pound of ear hair coming out of his ear. Like, did you not look in the mirror, Sergey?
Sergey.
Come correct. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, because you can.
I don't care if you're in shape, out of shape. You could still look good.
I was going to say you can be a cleaned up fat guy.
Exactly.
You can totally be.
We have friends here that are cleaned up fat guys.
Name
they
one.
look good.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Marcelo, I know you're a fashionable guy. You don't show up too fashionably late. You're not sloppy. What are your thoughts on this one?
As you know, my mom would say, represent the family. So represent your family.
Don't embarrass the family.
You go out
Don't
there.
you embarrass me out there,
Don't you
Marcelo.
embarrass me. So don't embarrass yourself. I think there's a big, especially nowadays, dude, you got to smell good. You got to, like, there's no excuse, bro. There's so many products you can use. You got to smell good. You got to look decent.
It all goes back to your give a shit level.
Give
How
a
much
shit
do you
level.
actually give a shit about how you're viewed?
Don't be sloppy. Now, number 4 is something that I know for a fact David, Marcelo, myself do not have a problem with. Number 4 is don't be shy. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself. Give a firm handshake. Say what's up. Crack a joke if you need to ingratiate the audience a little bit. Be memorable. Nobody likes a wallflower unless you're like the smartest guy in the room and it's like, all right, just give him the reports. He'll deal with it later. But don't be shy. At a networking event, don't be shy.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the networking.
Yes.
Event, is to network.
Like,
Yeah, right.
if you go there and you're shy and it's a 2-day conference and you spend 48 hours there and you meet 0 people and you got 0 business cards, if you transacted 0 business because you were afraid to get out of your comfort zone, aka your comfort zone will kill you, you're dead in business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Don't be shy.
100%. I agree.
Thank you, sir. You're not a shy guy. Were you ever shy?
I am a little bit shy on the inside, definitely. I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, I always get nervous when I have to talk to people. But I have found that if you are shy, that moment when like you break out, it's awesome. Like you kind of, it's a good moment. Also, people like it when you take your opportunities. Like if you think about it, all these rappers, all these hustlers, like they freestyle in front of the guy when he's walking to his car. There was a guy that freestyled in front of Drake, like on that while Drake was getting into his car, and he got to know him. Like there's a lot of moments like that in history that you're like, dude, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, because worst case scenario, Drake just drives away. Best case scenario, he's like, yo, that was sick. Here's my whatever.
Right.
So there's a lot
shy.
of
risk reward.
I'm
of being
an
shy.
extrovert. You're an extrovert. You, I would say, are an extrovert with some tendencies to be shy, is what you're saying.
Sure.
So, half of people are extroverts, half of are introverts. So here's my advice to the introverts out there, because the extroverts, they're going to be okay. Introverts. Okay. Take a deep breath. I know you're scared. I know it's not what you want to do, but think of the big picture. Is it better for you to get out there, shake some hands, make your rounds at these meetings and get some business done? Or is it easier for your ego and for your comfort level to be shy and not really meet people? Right. I think you know the answer to that. So sometimes introverts can, have very productive careers in what they do.
Right.
But sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone will kill you. So that's advice to the introverts out there.
And maybe even plan it. Whenever I'm really nervous, whenever I'm feeling shy and I have to talk to somebody that I think is kind of out of my league, I plan something to say. I go, I'm going to bring this up. And then I'm going to be safe.
Go in with a game plan.
Go in with a game
Don't
plan.
show up
Don't go
blind.
Boom.
Boom. David, that cup of coffee is waking you up. I love it. Number 5, this is for the selfish people out there. This is for the people that want to make it all about themselves. Number 5, don't make it all about you. At a networking meeting, you're there to meet people, to hear their story.
Right.
You're not there to tell your story to everybody. Okay? Make it about them. We always talk about this. The best sales thing you could do, not telling. Selling isn't telling. Selling is asking. Yeah. Ask questions, and you know what you do after you ask the question? Shut up and listen. Listen to their answer. Okay, that makes sense now. I was wondering, well, you said, you said you said that you didn't want to spend that on this. So here's my suggestion. You had mentioned that, oh, this guy is actually listening. Holy moly. So don't make it about you. Marcelo, I don't want to make this about me. I want to make this about you. What are your thoughts?
I think it makes sense.
You notice a theme here.
It makes sense. People like to talk about themselves. It totally makes sense. If you're ever talking about somebody that's bigger than you, or they're in a higher place, and if you just talk about yourself the whole time, they're like, this isn't that interesting. I'm actually doing really interesting things. Maybe you should ask about me.
Or it's like someone who says,
if I met Shaq tomorrow,
yeah.
I probably wouldn't tell him about me too much. I probably would ask him some questions about him.
Well played.
Yeah, and I think that's a great approach to meeting anyone. I mean, that's what I do is I just ask. Like what you said is 100% true. You just ask because who doesn't like talking about themselves, right? They want to talk. You just allow that. Of course. And then you become more of a mystery because they know everything about me. I know nothing about that.
And then they ask you, and now you're in a conversation.
Now you're in a conversation. Now you both care. So a part of that, you ever dealt with this person who's like the one-upper? Yeah, so David, I just got back from New York. Yeah. Oh, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Where were you? Oh, I was in the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. Like, what did you like? It's like, dude, I'm telling you my story here. I don't need you to one up.
Right.
I went to the Heat game. I was at the Heat game too. Thanks, bro. Telling my side of the story here. So don't make it about you.
I played for the Heat.
I played for the Heat. Heat player slept on my couch. Number 6. Don't be an amateur. This is an amateur hour over here. Even if you've been there for a week or a month or it's your first year in the business, act like you know what you're doing, okay? Know your stuff. At the very least, have an elevator pitch. You know how we said don't make it about you in number 5? Yeah. Number 6, make it about you that at least you know your stuff in this regard. Elevator pitch. Tell me what you do in like 30 seconds or less. Boom, spit it out.
Yeah.
Or whatever the most interesting thing about you is. Like, you got to have that on hand. Like, whenever you meet people, you got to be like, all right, this is what's going to be interesting to you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure when you talk to somebody, they go, oh, what do you do, Sosnick? You go, oh, I do this podcast. I also work in insurance. I do this and I do that. You have to have a quick way to say what you do because you're not going to be able to talk for a long time and then have them stay in it. You got to have what you do. What do? You got to have a question. You got to have an answer.
You got to have an answer for that.
You got to be a hook, too.
Got to be a hook. Listen to your corner and watch out for the hook. Number 7, don't blow it in the end. What does that mean? You know how we talked about don't be late? Mm-hmm. This is kind of like the antithesis of that is stay late. You're at a business conference, okay? The conference ends at 5. Don't cut out at 4:30. Stay late. What I love doing is doing a final lap. Love doing a final lap.
Anywhere. Parties. Always.
Parties. Final lap. Mm-hmm. I get an Irish goodbye. Some people want to do that. Before the Irish goodbye, do a final lap. Mm-hmm. Is there someone I can meet? Is there something I could do? Is there some person that I somehow missed? Very important to do.
100%. The guard goes down. Once the party's kind of dwindling, everybody's guard comes down. You know what I mean? You go to the host of the party.
Yeah.
Hey, man, great party. And they go, you know what? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
by
I'm
the way,
just about to head out, but I just want to.
Or not even that. They go, you know what? We're actually going to head to this after party.
Exactly.
Or you know what? Me and my wife, we've been dying to, talk to you about this. Or me and my girl, we've been dying. I'm telling you, a lot of times it happens.
Yeah.
You stay a little bit late. I would stay late at comedy shows all the time.
All the time.
And that's how, at the end of the comedy show, once everybody leaves and you're hanging out with the producer, he goes, hey, man, do you want to do the show sometime?
Bingo.
Do you want to come on next week? It's like those. Also, do you know why staying late works?
Mm-hmm.
Shows you care. You never stay late at something you don't care about.
The give a fuck level.
The give a fuck level. Just through the roof if you stay late.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are 7 things that you can do better to network better. In-person meetings are back. It's official, without a whistle, and this is actually happening. So hopefully you take something from this. For me, don't be shy. Don't be sloppy. Don't be shy. Don't make it about yourself. Know your shit. We all owned it up. Here's the final takeaway. Those are the 7 things. So, like we said on the video, networking is where the conversation begins, not where it ends. So after the networking event, there's 2 words that you have to do. Follow up. Follow up. You can have the best meeting in the world, have a great time, make all these contacts, and then you don't follow up with any of them. How the hell's business going to get done?
Right.
Everyone gives business cards these days, obviously, or people these days will take a picture on the phone and all that fancy stuff. Follow up. Great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You got to care about people. You know, they always say, no matter what business you're in the people business.
Yeah, you
and these are 7 ways to get better with your people. You know, they always say, Marcelo, your network is your net worth. If you add up the 5 people you associate with the most, that's who you are. So who you rolling with, bro? Feel me on that?
Mic drop right there.
Mic drop right there. So at this meeting, by the way, there was a special guest speaker. It was a pretty big deal. Anyone here watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite Shark Tank cast
Shark
member?
It's a bit-
Who's your favorite shark? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary.
No, he didn't
like
say name the sharks. He said, "What's your favorite shark?" This guy.
Robert Parker and
Yeah,
Lauren.
top two.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
are my
yeah,
top
yeah.
2.
Those
I
are your
can't have 2
guys.
of them.
All right, fine.
How about you?
Mark Cuban is my favorite shark.
You know what? I would say Cuban too. But now after this guest speaker, I got a new favorite.
You got a soft spot?
I got a soft spot because this guy crushed it. I'm talking about the people's shark, Damon John. He was the guest speaker. He opened up this conference. You know, he's founded FUBU, hip hop, fashion, clothing.
Yeah.
Now he's a multi-millionaire on Shark Tank, Damon John. So he spoke at this thing. Let me tell you something about Damon John. Dude can tell some stories. Dude's got some flow. He's got inspiration. He's got comedy. He's got humor. He's got some tugging on the heartstrings. The guy brought a DJ. Guy brought a freaking DJ to fick it, mix it up while he's talking. His shit was on point. It was just actually a really good speech and presentation. You bring a DJ to your speech,
Yeah, that's
you ain't
killer.
playing around. Okay? So he came correct. And more than anything, you know, we talk about confidence is key. When you're giving a speech, you know about this with stand-up comedy, relatability. Relate to the audience. Audience interaction. Crowd participation. Dude had it going on. I'll give him that. And he actually told a funny story about how when he was, you know what FUBU stands for? You know that's his company, right? FUBU?
Yeah.
Do you know what it stands for?
No.
No.
No, none of you.
0.
Okay, so he grew up in New York. He was in hip hop. He was in fashion. He was trying to make his way into the hip hop, predominantly a black audience, obviously. So FUBU stands for us, by us. That was his thing. But did you know that before FUBU, it was Bufu? Okay, by us, for us. Okay, and he told this funny joke that the girl he was dating at the time, her brother was gay, and he'd always be very, gay.
As gay people are.
Yeah, whatever. And he was basically saying, what's this Bufu stuff? And he's, that's my brand, buy us for us. He goes, well, in the gay community,
Yeah.
Bufu stands for something else. You can do the math on what BUFU stands for.
I knew this was going to get sexual.
Okay, it's not sexual at all. Well, yeah, obviously when I brought up the gay thing. But so he said, do you know what I'm saying? But
Don't say that.
yeah.
Don't say that.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. But
Don't you
anyway,
say that.
he changed it to FUBU. The rest is history. And now we're watching him on Shark
Yes,
Tank. He
and
just picked that up.
aren't you guys glad that you got that little snippet? I mean, aren't you guys?
Anyway, but it just shows that's marketing right there. Awareness. So he had FUBU. Now he's making a killing. He's on Shark Tank. He's doing his thing. And he says that he's got 5 keys to success.
Who is this?
This is Damon John, the people's shark.
Shark
Is he
Tank,
up on the screen?
Shark
How's he
Tank
not up on the
legend.
screen,
Oh,
David?
yikes.
Holy shit, asleep at the wheel. Damon John.
Yeah.
There he
I
goes.
was so captivated by your.
Well, the Bufu.
But yeah.
FUBU
Carry on.
is his brand. And he's got 5 keys to success, and he spells them out with like an acronym. Shark. SHARK for our spelling inept people out there. And these are the 5 keys to success according to the People's Shark Damon John. Number 1, S for shark. S is to set a goal. We talk about this all the time. Number 1, with your finances, have a game plan for your money, have a budget, have a business plan, whatever it is. For the People's Shark, it's to set a goal. For him, he wanted to make it in the fashion world with a little bit of hip hop vibe. That was his goal. Okay. And he said, no excuses. Straight up. This is what I'm accomplishing. I don't give a shit. I'm working on it. I'm grinding. He told stories about selling clothes out of the back of his trunk, working on the corner on the block, going up, not being shy, going up to LL Cool J, begging him to do a commercial. Turns out LL believed in him. LL gave him allowed him to take a photo with him, and the rest was history. I mean, after years and years of working on it. But basically, the dude set a goal, he worked on it, and then he just said, watch them unfold. Like Marcelo, your goal is to become one of the biggest comedians in the world and the biggest Latin comedian in the world. Is that not your goal at some point? It's probably a 10-year goal.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're not doing this to be a normal, everyday comedian.
No.
You've got a goal.
Right.
And now you're watching it unfold. I met you when you were 19. You told me you were 21 at the time.
Yeah. Nice.
You're 19, now you're 24. He had a goal to become a big-time comedian. Now he's literally touring the country with some of the biggest comedians on the planet. He had a goal. He worked on it, and now he's watching it unfold.
Right.
This is true. This is true facts.
More work to be done.
More work to be done. More work to be done. And look at you now.
Speaking of which, what's the next one?
Speaking of more work to be done, the H in Shark is to do your homework, right? Basically, he said, listen, nothing's new. Nothing is new. It's all just updated. And he gave a list of things that, you might think that this is new. That's just, they did that back in the day. And just basically worked on all these things that you think are new, but they're not, okay? Right. So he's saying, do your research. Look at data. Look at data. Data or data?
Yes.
Data.
Which one
data.
is it?
Yes.
I'd say data.
I think data too. And take inventory of where you're at. So do your homework, okay? You think we just show up to this podcast loosey-goosey style and wing it? It's half homework, half confidence.
100%.
There it is.
And we look at it. You look at what your performance, you look at how you're doing, you look at how the people are reacting.
The give a fuck level is real.
That's right. And no matter what business you're in, you can look at data, right? You can look at
or data.
Qualitative
I would look at data.
Yeah. You can find out, get some feedback.
Thank you, young man. Number 3 on the Shark, if you're spelling S-H-A, I see what he did here, is amor, for love.
Oh, he had to go to
Love.
Spanish.
You see he went Spanish there, or Italian.
Como estás?
Innovative.
Como estás? He says, you got to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you could do it for a year. You can do it for 2 years, a couple of years. And at some point, you say, I just don't want to be doing this.
Give a shit level goes.
Give a shit level. David, the give a shit level.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Also, Seinfeld has a legendary quote about this. He says that you can't do comedy for the money because you'll get the money relatively quickly. And then what is your motivation? So like the idea that, let's say you're going to try to become a comedian and, after 5 years or 5 to 8 years, let's say you're paying your rent with comedy. You're touring this, you're doing this and that. Now, what's your ambition to look for more? It's
right.
like, if you're in it for the money and you're already surviving, then that's it. Then you're kind of done.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't do it for the money. You got to do it because you love it.
You'll see we're going to get to that in a second. So also, in addition to got to love what you're doing, it's the who do you love? Like, what's your motivation for him? He told a story about his 2 daughters. He would do anything for them. Neither of us have kids that I know of, but at some point, we're all going to be fathers, we're going to be husbands, what have you. Who are you doing this for? Right now, we're doing this just for ourselves.
Right.
Right? So that's his thing. Amor, love what you're doing, and who are you doing it for? R, remember where you came from. Remember that you are the brand, and to know yourself. Remember who you are is basically what it is. He's basically saying, we talked about an elevator pitch in the last segment. Be able to summarize your brand in 2 to 5 words. All we talk is money. Save that money. That's my brand. Marcelo, what's your brand? Comedy
Jokes,
in 2 to 5 words.
Jokes, mi amigo.
Jokes, mi amigo.
Amigo.
I don't know.
I like that, but work on that.
Jokes, brother. Yeah, right. 100%.
Work on that. 5 words or less. David.
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, you
what's
work
my
on
brand?
that. So for everyone out there that's working on a brand, working on your personal brand, 2 to 5 words. This is what he says. And this is something interesting. Speaking of knowing your brand, know yourself, knowing who you want to be, knowing what you want to do. He says, he gave a little peel behind the curtain of Shark Tank. He says, we don't invest in companies. We invest in people. The people business. We're all in the people business. Okay? So R, remember who you are. Remember what you stand for. And remember, you are the brand, Marcelo. Jokes. Mi amigo.
Yes, baby.
And letter K, for our people following along, is to keep swimming. This is a little sentimental part of it. This is more life advice than business advice. He's saying, look, life is short, and it can be shorter than you even know. He says at one point, he didn't really, this wasn't public knowledge, he had throat cancer. And he showed he had something going on in his throat. Let's just call it that. And he said he almost died of cancer. And he's basically saying you got to keep swimming. And in order to do that, you got to take care of yourself. Don't be sloppy, AKA, right?
Right.
Get physicals. Get some blood work done. I know that all too well. It's not so much just what's going on the outside. Get some blood work done. If you haven't had blood work done, get that done. And then he says, look, while you're keeping swimming, you talked about not doing it for the money. What's your purpose? What's your motivation? He says, like, what does success really mean to you? And for him, it wasn't the money. It wasn't being on Shark Tank. It wasn't buying businesses. It wasn't social media likes. For him, as we talked about earlier, it was his 2 daughters and family. So what's the point of all this? Shark, right? Set a goal. Do your homework. Amor, for love. Love what you do. Remember who you are, and you are the brand. And K, keep swimming, playa. And at the end of this, he says, like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? So I always talk about, you don't retire anymore. You're just what's called chilling. You own your time. No matter, you could be 30 and chilling, or you might be 80 and chilling. But at the end of the day, know you're chilling. Know your why. What's your legacy? A lot of people, family, legacy. They want to travel the world. They want to work on stuff they're passionate about. Donate their time, but the big one is legacy. And when we're willing to, lucky enough to have a family one day, that'll take care of itself. Thoughts on the People's Shark, Damon John?
Man, a lot to take away from it. Definitely puts things in perspective. The way he kind of breaks things down. I love that he used shark as an acronym for it. Yeah, Damon John. Honestly, at the beginning of this, I said Mark. I gave 2 people.
Yeah.
He's now my favorite shark.
Wow. Yeah, and I do agree that I like how he did the Amor thing, because it could have been Schlurk. But he said
that's
Amor.
not catchy. Yeah, and
no,
it doesn't go
Schlurk.
with shark.
No, Shark. Amor, love.
Yeah, and that's sloppy.
Marcelo, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Dude, I love it. I love all of it.
Does
I'm
anyone hate it?
motivated. I'm motivated.
Amor.
I'm coming out of this motivated.
You
baby.
know what he's got now? Jokes, mi gente.
Jokes, mi gente.
Anyway,
I
that's
like that.
time for
Jokes,
our wild money moves of the week. Here's the question for the audience out there.
Whoa.
Want feedback on this story? I want the feedback. I want you to tell me in the comments, David's going to be watching them, what you would do in this situation. What would you do if you found a large pile of cash and no one was around to see what you were doing? What would you do if you found $100,000 on the floor in a bag?
And no one was around to
No
see.
one was around. Let me tell you this story, and you tell me what we do. So this teen, let's get his name, Jose Romanis. He's a 19-year-old criminal justice student, college student in New Mexico. The dude finds $135 grand.
He's a criminal justice student?
Exactly.
Wow.
What are the odds? So Jose, our good friend Jose that we're going to be talking about right now, he's at the ATM, like we've all used the ATM before. He looks to his right and he sees a bag of money just sitting there next to the machine. How much money was in this bag? $135,000. Okay? Now again, I asked at the beginning of this segment, what would you do in this situation? So what's the first thing you do? First thing you do is probably look around.
Yeah, you look around.
You're like, who the hell's around here?
Holy
What the hell is
shit.
going on here? Then what? What do you do?
Then you inspect the bag.
You inspect the bag. You pick it up.
You smell
You
it.
see a lot of money in there. You don't start counting it right now.
No, you just see blocks of money. If it's
Okay.
that bag right there, it's you just you like, oh, dude.
There's the
gotta be-
bag. You know how they say secure the bag? Homie secured the bag. So what did he do next? And I want to find out what you guys would do next. What did he do? He called the popo. Called the police. I got a bag of a lot of money here. The police said, we're on our way. So the bag was accidentally apparently left by an ATM worker who forgot to fill the machine. Probably was high. Definitely was high.
Or had much bigger plans.
Yeah.
Like
Or
this guy,
stole the rest of the money.
this guy left the $135K and his buddy was gonna come pick it up, and now this little 19-year-old squeak
ruined the
ruined
Ocean's
the entire
15.
scheme.
damn it.
Yeah, damn it. Freaking Jose every time.
You know, I worked at a bank, and I knew exactly that was what happened. Because that's how you get it. And so then you package it, you fill up the ATM like that, and it's only 50s.
Okay, so you worked at a bank.
Yeah, I worked at a bank.
Have you ever dealt with, like,
no,
$100,000?
Oh, 100%. But
you have.
It's always in a group of two, so that something like this
doesn't
happen.
So you ever look at the person in the eyes?
Come on, bro.
It's the cameras, dude. It's just I'm so paranoid. I'm like, there's no chance. I find $135,000. I'm like, there's no chance, dude.
You're always being watched.
There's just no chance.
Big Brother's watching.
100%.
Always. There's always some sort of CCTV.
So Jose, he called the cops. Would you have called the cops? What would you have done?
Dude, I would have done
You're calling 911.
This is the problem, though. I think we need to build. There needs to be a structure for this. However much money you find, you get 10%. Because something needs to happen like that to make it actually worth your while.
Yeah. Well,
what happened to finders keepers?
Well,
that was
David. I like that. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. What would you have done, David?
Well, okay, so I would have been paranoid, right? Oh, man.
The good paranoia, though.
I don't know. I would have said, I mean, obviously, turn it into the cops. But it's like, well, someone left their bag here.
Well, speaking of the
That's unfortunate.
10%, let's see what this guy got. Because he called the police. They obviously took the money.
Right.
Who knows what the police did.
They clap. They go, well done,
yeah,
buddy.
well done, buddy. He got a clap. Number one, he got a round of applause.
Yeah.
Which does not pay the bills.
Right.
Exactly. Here's what he got. He was called a community hero by the police.
Worthless, by the way.
Yeah,
no money there.
Hey, community hero. All right, everyone, break. Okay, cool. The mayor and the police chief held a ceremony to officially thank him. Hey, buddy, thank you.
Thanks,
all right,
bud.
done. Thanks, Jose.
Yeah.
He's out. Get this. He got several gift cards to local restaurants.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Well, Chipotle?
Yeah.
And then, get this, talking about big money, he got a $500 scholarship.
$500?
$500 scholarship to his school.
No, that's
Not 5,000.
No, that's offensive.
It's like at that point, just don't give me.
Yeah,
a
don't give
freaking
me
scholarship,
anything, bro.
Okay. And then here's the kicker.
An iTunes gift card.
Yeah. Season tickets to the University of New Mexico football games with a bunch of sports paraphernalia.
Dude, that's not bad.
Dude, what if
And
you...
is it paraphernalia or memorabilia? Because paraphernalia sounds like an illegal thing.
Exactly. Memorabilia, sports gear. Memorabilia,
gear,
yes,
yeah.
paraphernalia. Yeah, okay, not bad if you're getting Alabama season tickets, right?
Hey,
or
but Jose
University of Miami or Michigan, New Mexico season tickets. They're not even a ranked team.
That's where he lives, dude.
I got that part. That's where he goes to school.
That's like giving me season tickets to see FIU.
I'm good.
I'm good, bro.
So now I got to waste every Saturday of my life now because I found money.
What am I going to do with this?
Anyway.
Right.
So Marcelo actually is not only our in-house comedian, writer, joke teller, he is our legal expert. I said, what are the legal ramifications on this? He said, I'm on it, Sauce. Here's what he found out. He says, yes, obviously, it's not 135 grand, but it is better than, going to jail. After all, he is a criminal justice major. And Marcelo found this, quote unquote, if you find a significant amount of money, check your local laws or contact an attorney or the police. If a law requires that you turn over money you have found to the police and you do not do so, you could be charged with larceny or theft.
Why? If I just find money?
And it has to. Well, each state has their minimum. They're like their minimum. So if it's over, it's usually between $500 and $1,000. So if you find anything more than that in most states, you have to tell somebody, or you go to jail. Because this is my mentality.
Or I go to jail.
Right? Yeah. Because
real quick, just so we get some feedback and we can keep talking. If you keep the money, you're keeping the money. Give a thumbs up. I want to see some thumbs up. If you said, no, I don't like this karma.
Right.
This ain't for me. This ain't what I'm trying to do. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
You're not keeping the money. Yeah. We're going to be checking the comments. David's on that.
It's not just the money. It's $135,000.
420 Cafe with Brojo commented, lesson, keep the money.
Keep the money. I got to tell you.
You would have kept the money?
Save that money.
Okay, so
you would have grabbed the bag of money.
Okay. Let's back up. Let's just talk about Jose and let's talk about ourselves here.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're all clear here. So there's Jose. He's staring at the money. What do? The police are about to show up. Now I got 5 minutes. They show up.
I'm 19.
I'm 19. I got the rest of my life. He says, you know how they say WWJD? What would Jesus do?
Sure.
He thought WW, my parents do. He thought about his parents. This is like a good young Hispanic male.
100%.
Good
His
family.
parents are probably immigrants.
Good grooming. He says, quote unquote, my parents always taught me to work for my own. Stolen money would never last
didn't
you
steal anything.
anytime. I agree.
I'm with his parents,
So
dude.
here is a situation where, David, man, the thumbs up, the thumb down 1 second. Here's a situation where I've got some money. 100 grand isn't going to change my life to the point where I'm living a whole new life. However, 100 grand, angel on my shoulder saying,
Yeah.
do something good, help people, make sure this money goes to its rightful owner. Maybe it goes to a philanthropic endeavor. Then the devil, let's fucking party, bro. 100 grand, let's do it. You're going to buy this, you're going to go out, you're going to have a party. I think all of us are dealing with the angel and devil. Nobody
Yeah.
says 100%.
We have a lot of thumbs up in the chat.
We got a lot of thumbs up, man.
There's like 3
thumbs up
thumbs
if you're
down.
keeping the money. Thumbs down if you're turning it in.
What if you
David-
take that money and put it straight into Bitcoin? Does anybody even know what happened? Like, is that just like the
Ooh.
ultimate way to get away with it?
That's the ultimate. Oh my
That's
god.
the way to get
Yeah,
away
I
with
think
it,
that's
right?
the way.
But this is my perspective is if I'm his parents, right? I'm this guy's parents, and we're immigrants.
Yeah, I'm pissed if you.
There is nothing more valuable than freedom. So this kid takes that 135K, he runs away with it, and it's under his bed. Next thing you know, the whole family's arrested for aiding and abetting.
Ooh.
Now we worked all our life to get to America, and this kid just took it from us because he couldn't keep his hands in his pockets.
Wow. Spoken from a
being-
Latino man whose mom escaped communism.
100%.
And it all's freedom, bro.
100%.
Mind your business.
I am speaking for all those immigrant parents out there that would say the same thing. Call the police because if you get caught for that money.
Well, hold on. Your family, half Cuban, half Dominican,
Right.
24 years old.
Right.
David,
Yeah,
25 years old,
Yeah.
100%
Colombia.
Colombian,
Yeah.
immigrant family.
Correct.
You're keeping the money, bro.
I agree with.
You keeping the money, bro?
No,
what you
listen.
doing with the money?
I listen. Marcelo has a point. My mamita would say.
Yes, she would, and she'd be right.
Should return the money. But it's that money that you're not stealing anything. You're not taking anyone's money from their
False.
account. That money is insured. I worked at a bank. That money's insured.
Good point here. This
Yeah.
is where we have our local bank teller, David Parra, in the house.
We got robbed. That's why that's what they tell you when you're.
It's called the FDIC.
Yeah. You're getting
Yeah.
robbed. They're like, give them everything. That money's insured. Okay.
Yes.
Bro, you left the bag out? That's your problem.
Anyway, this is one of
That's my solution.
This guy's laughing so hard. I think we should call the
Jorge.
cops.
You thumbs up or thumbs down, Jorge? You keeping the money or you calling the cops? He's keeping the money. Anyway,
You guys are going
Jose.
to jail, bro. I'll bail you out. I'll bail you
here's
out.
the lesson here. It's not everything's black and white. You find 135 grand.
Some things are Latino.
Okay. Some things are brown.
Yes.
So good deeds can go viral. You
Dude,
can.
This guy got gypped.
This guy got a round of applause and some season tickets
And
to
he
New
got-
Mexico Lobos football.
And he got featured on the SOSCAST. I mean, seriously, this guy got nothing for this.
This guy, he's.
Oh,
He-
man. Poor kid. He had 135K and he
If
gave
I'm
it away.
if I'm freaking New Mexico University, I want to promote this story as much as possible. These are the kind of students we have here. I give a little kid a scholarship, pay for his.
They did. It was $500.
But, yeah, exactly. Here's a $500 scholarship. Go fuck
Here, buddy.
yourself.
There's a $500
Oh my
credit
God.
to our cafeteria.
Jose, if you end up hearing this, we'd love to speak with you. Jose Romanis, 19-year-old criminal justice student out of New Mexico. Half our audience thinks that you're a freaking loser, bro. Half our audience respects you. So,
Poor kid.
poor kid.
No, man. No, not poor kid. Not poor kid at all.
Dude, he could have invested into Bitcoin. But
He's lucky, bro.
We'll
He's
talk
lucky
about
to,
Bitcoin
He's
in a
lucky to be
second.
here. He's a student. He's killing
Anyway,
it.
we're having fun on the SOSCAST today. We're about an hour in. We might not be able to cover everything today. We're flowing. We got banter. We got a lot of good stuff. Let's get back to our next story.
Next story.
So speaking of handling money, David,
yeah.
who do you think is better with money? Who do you think is a better investor?
Okay.
Men
Yeah.
or women?
The obvious. I'm gonna say women, because that's the obvious one.
You
will
didn't
probably
sell
be-
me on that one.
Yeah. Didn't come off
Well,
confident.
I think
yeah. What is it? Women.
full disclosure, your gut's telling you men, though.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Okay.
But I
Full disclosure.
men have been in the driving seat of investing historically.
100%.
Men or women, better investor. Now, apparently, there's some new data that has come out that confirms research now confirms that women
I told you.
are better investors.
I told you.
This is a Market Watch story. So Fidelity, who I actually invest with, they're one of the investing platforms that I use, they did a study of 5 million of their customers and their investing habits in the stock market over the last 10 years. And here's what they found. On average, women outperform men by 40 basis points, which is 0.4. So for those of you that are not familiar with what basis points are, it's basically a unit of measurement in finance, and it equals 1/100th%. So 1% equals 100 basis points. It's just a fancy, elaborate term of saying percentage, because with the percentage, you got to move the decimals over. We all get it. So they outperform them by 40 basis points. It's a pretty big deal. So here's what they uncovered about the women. So this is a segment, shout out to the women investors out there, okay?
Yeah.
Shout out to the ladies.
Who run the world? Girls.
Thank you.
Yeah, just let them do it.
Yes. Go for it, David. So here's what they found out. So they said, in addition to investing in your retirement accounts, a lot of people have that. A lot of people have 401ks. In addition to having what is called a emergency fund, we talk about that on the last episode, the importance of having cash saved up, cushion, emergency fund, rainy day fund. They said, then what do you do with the money? Okay, you've got your 401k, your IRA, you got your cushion. Then you got extra savings. What do you do with the money? Here's what they found. Overall, 2/3 of women are investing their money in addition to their retirement accounts and emergency fund. Crazy numbers for the ladies. And what group of ladies do you think is leading the way? Old ladies, middle-aged ladies, younger ladies, Gen Z girls? Who do you think is investing the most? Which segment of the lady population in America?
C, young ladies.
C, young ladies would be right. The answer is female millennials.
Boom.
They're crushing it. 71% of female millennials, that is age 25 to 40, oldest millennial here, but not female, for the record. I'm just
Right
saying,
here.
shout out, hey, ladies. 71% of the females doing that with their money, investing their money. 67% of Gen X, which are ages 41 to 56, generally speaking, and then 62% of the baby boomer ladies, age 57 to 75. So what's the message here? The younger you are, the more knowledge you have. We talked about this all the time. Finance, 50% knowledge, 50% behavior, right?
Right.
Millennial women crushing the game, And where are they putting this money? One would want to know, in addition to their retirement accounts or saving up cash. 63% of them are putting it into mutual funds and ETFs. That's 63% of the money. 50% are putting it in money market and CDs. That is low risk. I don't even know if that's investing. That's better than saving. 24% are putting into environmental and sustainable investments, pro-environment. And the kicker here, 23% putting in crypto. So the women are investing is what I'm saying here.
And this is a boom, right? Since 2018, it's been
This
a
is
boom.
big. This is up, as far as the investing goes, it's up 50%.
Hell yeah.
Since 2018. Ladies are basically like, yeah, we were doing good in 2018. Double it up, 50% more. We're investing. So,
Well, since then, investing has become almost like we talked about, kind of like Tinder. It's almost just on your phone.
it's on your phone, all the
super
cool
quick.
kids.
And it does seem to me that the reason they're better investors is because their losses are not as great because they are not as gambly as men are. I think men are much more willing to gamble the money. I wanna
Let it
see-
ride!
Dude, I want to see the male versus female chart on who invested in Dogecoin. I want to see how many of the people that lost money in Dogecoin are men and how many are women. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, all this bullshit, the casino, whatever they're like. When it comes to gambling, I think it's a man's game. And I think these women are, I mean, as you can see here, most of these investments that you talked about, they're low-risk investments, wouldn't you say? They're not like throwing their money in like random individual stocks.
Crypto would be being the one.
Crypto would be the riskiest
Yeah,
one.
and
right.
that's 23%.
Which is-
Here's what I'll say to that. Good point. Because women
It's my theory.
in relationships
There
tend to
you
be
go.
the more emotional.
That's what I was going to
where
say.
men tend to be more logical.
And that goes against...
But when it comes to money, women Understanding it's not a get-rich-quick game, maybe. Guys, I got to make that money, bro. It's all about the money, bro. Where women are like, I don't know, I'm just investing,
doing this.
So maybe.
And you see that in sports, too. I can only speak of, soccer because that's the one where I kind of follow both. Women, sometimes you'll see the national team, for instance, Colombia. The women's team is sometimes way better than the men's. And because the men's kind of just sometimes get way too emotional. And
USA soccer, bro. The women are the best.
There you go.
What the hell's going on there?
Perfect example. Why? Because women are thinking less emotionally and less brute force and more tactically. And there's more.
Shout out to the ladies out there. Here's a couple other stats for you. They asked the ladies, what keeps you up at night? Okay, other than David's mustache. Yeah, Dave. What keeps you up at night? 32% of women said not earning enough money. So 1 out of 3 women not earning enough. 37% said debt. I think we all have to deal with that. I don't think that's just a lady thing. 50% worry about their long-term finances, aka while they're investing. The good news is 52% are planning to create a financial plan for their goals, to reach their goals for this upcoming year. So anyway, like Marcelo made me point out, the women investors are up 50% since 2018. Women are investing more. So again, not as emotional with investing as maybe, women get the knock for in real life. The bottom line is, good for you ladies out there. You're crushing it. You go, girl.
Right.
This is where I'm at with this. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Keep it up, ladies. Who run the world, David?
Girls.
Who run the world?
Girls.
Okay.
Right.
Marcelo, your mom, I know she's a gangster in the real estate world.
Yeah, savage.
You got a lot of respect for your
100%.
Speaking of savage.
Bougie.
No, but it's true. I think so too. And I also think that when it comes to them like setting goals and whatnot, I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking about doing this on stage eventually, but the idea that when your boy, like your homie, goes, yo, dog, I'm about to get in the gym starting tomorrow. I'm going to get huge. You go, okay. Yeah. All right. But when a girl says something like that, they usually follow through. Like, I think when it comes to following through on their word, I think women are much more follow through than guys.
Yeah, men are garbage.
Guys are more talk
than
women. I think women are like, listen, I'm going to invest reasonably, you know what I mean? Then they actually do it. Men are like, I'm going to invest reasonably. Then they put $30,000 in Dogecoin and they don't know what happened.
So we conclude, guys, that we are emotional and we don't stick to what we say.
With finances, maybe that's what it is. Anyway, shout out to the ladies out there. If you're a lady watching the show, we are proud of you. Keep it up. Save that money so you can invest that money. Say it all the time. Let's get into our next topic right here. We got about 20 minutes left before we wrap up, so some of these segments might go quick, including this one. This is one of those segments what we call financial advice for the dummies out there. The goal is financial intelligence. Sometimes the dummies out there don't know certain things. So I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of inflation is out there these days. Came out and said 6% this year over year, 6% inflation. So your bank account lost 6% of its purchasing power. Let's break down what that means. So money, as they say, is a tool. It's just a tool or a financial instrument to get what you want. It doesn't actually have value. It's the value you can get from it, right? It's based on what the money can buy. It's a medium of exchange.
Yeah.
So that money went down 6%. You can buy 6% less stuff. So if you have a bank account and you've got, let's take some actual examples here. In your bank account, you've got 10 grand. You think, cool, I'm chilling on 10 grand right there. That's only purchasing power of $9,400. If you've got 100 grand in the bank, what's up, baby? You're that dude, Jose. He's found 100 grand. He's got a bag, 100 grand.
Threw it away.
Purchasing power, 94%.
And then it went down when he called the cops.
And then it went down big time when he called the cops. So inflation is real, 6%. You know what's going on. Obviously, I'm all about save that money, save that money, save that money, save that money. Get to a cushion where you're comfortable and then invest. I say this all the time. 90% of my wealth, Mr. Save That Money guy, is in the market, is in finances, is investments. I'm getting that compound interest. Let that thing grow. And some of the reasons why, obviously after you have a cushion, where can you put the money? Now, savings accounts pay zero. I mean, with basis points we talked about, 0.0012, 0.004. Oh, we got a new savings account. We're giving you 0.03 now. Okay, great. It's paying next to nothing.
Right.
Bonds, old people got bonds. Rich people got bonds. If you're looking to grow your money, bonds ain't the play. Treasury bills, government bonds, T-bills, paying like 1.5%, next to nothing. Traditionally, gold, which is a good, hedge against inflation. That's actually been flat the past year. But the stock market, baby, it's been up over 10% for the last decade. This year to date, 16%. We talked about this before. And Bitcoin and crypto to the moon. So the goal is to have enough money in cash that you can move from being in debt to being a saver to being an investor. Red light, yellow light, green light. Red light is debt.
Right.
Yellow light, saving. Green light, investing to the moon. And what does the great Warren Buffett said about being inflation proof? He says, be the best at what you are. Be the absolute best, whether you're a producer, whether you're a dentist, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a politician, whatever it is. Being inflation proof is being the best at what you do. He says the best investment is in yourself. So if you guys are listening out there and you're getting out of debt and you're saving that money, you're on the right track. You've done 2 out of 3. Now it's time to invest, baby. So that's that. Quick thoughts on that, David, before we move on.
No thought.
6%.
It's obviously PBD did a video on this that he released. It's on YouTube, but yeah, it's scary. It's something that you don't want to see. Especially, I mean, you're not surprised coming out of a pandemic, kind of seeing this, but it's also not
all the money printing,
all the money printing,
all the stimmies that are out there.
It's scary. I wish I had more knowledge to give a better opinion, but it's obviously something I don't want to see, and I don't want to see again. Yeah, but I'm sure I will.
Marcelo, I know you're working hard to get to the 10 grand level, not to put your business on the street. You're getting close. But what happens if you were to find out that your 10 grand is actually only 9,400?
I wouldn't care.
All right.
No, no, honestly, I think that I have a long-term plan. Like I'm not thinking about inflation at all right now. I'm in a place in my business where all I'm thinking about is getting more work and getting my product better and making my business better.
AKA being the best at what you do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to become the best at what I do. Yes. I don't care about inflation. I don't care about investments. I don't care about the stock market. I'm trying to become the best comedic personality I can.
Tunnel vision, baby.
Let me tell you something,
hopefully
Marcelo.
that'll pay off.
There's a part of me that's like, this kid, I don't know about inflation. But there's a part of me that actually agrees with you.
Right.
We can't control the freaking inflation. It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about it. We spend an hour on it on PBD podcast. I'm thinking, guys, it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? You can control what you can control. Right. I mean, Danielle DiMartino Booth is an economist. She can maybe actually control some of this stuff. I don't know what she can do. But like your perspective, there's not a lot you can do to control inflation. Save that money, get out of debt, invest that money. Yep. Speaking of investing that money, let's move on to the crypto corner. Woo! Let's move on to the crypto corner.
Yeah.
Crypto, as we all know, is taking over. It's taken over society. It's taken over Fortune 500 companies. Big banks are getting involved in crypto. And now sports in America is getting taken over by crypto. Did you hear what happened in L.A., David?
No, tell me.
Oh, my God. Do you know where the Lakers play? Do you know where the Clippers play? Do you know where the LA Kings play?
Staples Center.
They did play at the Staples Center.
Pardon?
Now, pardon me, in the next month, the Staples Center will now be named the Crypto.com
No, I don't like it.
Arena. That is, David just walked off the show. He is pissed.
No, because you didn't say we were going to talk about that. I don't like it.
You have the link, David.
Sorry,
I'm
a bit
he's
shocked
a little
here.
shooketh right now. So for the last 20 years, since 1999, so 21 plus years,
Crypto.com?
the Lakers in LA, Clippers as well, I think they're getting their own arena too.
Yeah.
And the LA Kings, for our hockey fans, they have played at a place called the Staples Center. Bonus points for where they played before the Staples Center. Bonus points before the Staples Center.
Office Depot. I have no clue. No clue.
They played at the Great Western Forum, where where Magic Johnson used to ball out. The Forum.
The Forum.
Yeah. Okay. There it was. So if you ever watched those. So now the Staples Center is going to be renamed the Crypto.com Arena. So this is the richest naming rights deal in sports history. $700 million. Do 700 divided by 20 real quick. The 20-year naming rights agreement makes the Singapore-based Crypto.com the official cryptocurrency platform of the LA Lakers and the LA Kings. What is
700
it?
million divided by 20?
12. Yes, by 20, sorry.
35 million.
35 million bucks a year is what they're paying.
Jesus.
Bingo bango.
It's funny too, crypto.com. It sounds like how an old person would try to learn about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What do I do? Just go to crypto.com? Like, it sounds like a joke, dude.
Sounds like a joke. It's a $700 million joke.
Right,
that's
it's like
going
not
on
a
in
joke
LA.
at all.
Not a joke at all. They are taking over the richest naming rights deal
That's like where
in
my grandma
sports
goes.
history. 700 million. Our friend David over here did the math. 700 divided by 20, 35 million bucks a year. I'm wondering if they're paying that in cash or in Bitcoin. So you know how much the Staples Center 20 years ago when they did their deal, they signed for 20 years, 1999, so a little over 20. They paid 120 million. Okay,
Oh, wow.
120 divided by 20. So they got the naming rights in 1999.
6.
It's $6 million a year. So $6 million 20 years later is now $35 million
That is
a year.
real estate that has appreciated.
That is
huh?
appreciated. That Staples Center
Yeah.
is now the Crypto.com Center. And just like perfect timing, the name change will take place on Christmas Day, December 25th, while the LA Lakers take on the Brooklyn Nets. So during that game, Christmas Day, biggest day in the NBA other than the finals.
Biggest game.
Exactly. Biggest games. Crypto.com. Coming to you live from the Crypto.com arena. Let's hear your announcer voice. Who wants to do it?
Coming to you live from the Crypto.com arena. The Lakers.
Yes.
There it was. So
Now, Jeff, have you heard of this crypto stuff, Jeff? Now, I have heard of it, James. It does seem to be some sort of witchcraft. I do think so as well. I think it is witchcraft. Let's focus on the game. I think
all
that's what's going to
right,
happen.
there goes LeBron James. So you know LeBron's going to get involved in this.
Oh.
He's going to be playing at Crypto.com. You don't think they're going to have a little LeBron
I don't know.
NFT
I've never
come
seen-
out?
I've never seen LeBron in a Staples commercial. You know what I mean? I don't know how close these people are to the...
Well, because Staples ain't exactly that cool.
Yeah. Crypto.com is...
Yeah. Let's talk about how uncool Staples is. Little takeaways for you. Whether you like it or not, crypto's coming into your life. Whether you
100%.
like it or not, it's coming to you. I don't like crypto. I live in LA. I'm not messing with crypto. Where's the game tonight? Crypto.com arena. Shit! There it is.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can't escape it.
Yeah, I mean,
That bubble's closing.
big time Heat fan. Love Miami Heat. My dad took me there since 1988 when I was a little young boy. To sit on his lap at the game. Now, the American Airlines Arena is now the FTX Arena.
Yeah.
A different competing crypto exchange to Crypto.com. FTX owned by billionaire 29-year-old Sam Bankman-Fried. Absolute genius. So Miami used to be American Airlines, now the FTX Arena. LA used to be the Staples Center, soon to become Crypto.com. MLB, have you not seen FTX all over the World Series? FTX was everywhere. Okay? Premier League, you're a soccer guy.
Yeah.
Do you not see with eToro all over Tottenham and Southampton and Newcastle, these teams?
Yeah.
You not seen eToro?
Yeah, but they
another
always
crypto
put shit on
company?
the sides, yeah.
Okay, but now it's
But the day
crypto
they
is what I'm saying.
change Stamford Bridge to the goddamn Ethereum stadium, that's the day football died.
That's the day, but it's coming, man.
Yeah.
So you joked about Staples. You never saw LeBron in a Staples commercial. I did a little fact checking on Staples. Obviously, they're known for office supplies, and
Pens.
school supplies, pens, and
Folders.
grabadora. What's a grabadora?
It's a stapler.
It's a stapler for all my friends out. That's my favorite Spanish word. By the way, they've been a struggling company. It probably wasn't the best investment for them to invest into the Staples Center.
20 years ago, who knows?
20 years ago. Well, I'm telling you right now, since 2017, they went from a public company to a private company. They got
Yikes.
sold.
Yeah, that's not
They're
good.
struggling. Their numbers have been going down. Staples is the past. Crypto is the future.
Staples, American Airlines. I mean, they're replacing a lot of big companies that have been around for a very long time. I'm no expert, but I might put some money in crypto now, huh? I mean, it does seem to be
It
pretty
seems to be.
popular.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's with all these stories, like it's legitimizing Bitcoin. Dude,
Yeah.
Bitcoin cannot be more legitimate.
We're there.
Yeah,
already.
it's,
All right. People
we're
have been
past
second
that.
guessing it. So anyway, you might put some money into Bitcoin and money into
Thinking
crypto.
about it now.
The question now is, How rich is crypto making people? Is it rich enough to quit your job? Check out this story right here. How many people do you think have quit their job because of crypto wealth in the last 2 years? How many people? Take a guess. Take a guess. Take a guess.
Quit their job.
Quit their job on
because of
making money
crypto
on
wealth?
crypto. Yes.
I'll give you a percentage. 2%.
Of what? Well, you can't give a percentage
Of Americans, I'm assuming?
of
Yeah.
Americans.
Yeah, like a percent.
Give a number.
I don't know. Fucking 100 people. No, 100,000 people.
100. How about your 100? I see your 100,000, and I raise you 6 million people.
Okay.
6 million people. Do 6 million
many
divided
people?
by 330 million.
Jeez.
6 million. How many current population in the United States? 330 or 360 million?
That's what I was about to ask.
Okay.
330 million.
Yo no
Yeah.
sé matemáticas.
Divided by what?
6 million.
6 million. Coming up. 55.
No, it's not.
No,
50.
man. No, it's not. Jesus.
You have the number. What's
Get
the
that?
number?
I don't know. 6 million divided by the population, 330 million. So 6 million people in the U.S. workforce have quit their jobs after making more money from crypto than their low-income jobs. This is a survey by intelligence firm Civic Science. You got a number for me?
0.018.
So
6 million
point
divided by 320 billion? Million?
Jesus, David.
So it's 1%. It's 1%.
Okay.
It's
I'm not even
almost
sure if
2%.
that's-
Almost
okay.
2%.
Yeah.
Almost 2%.
Boom. So I
There
hit it
was.
right on
Okay.
the first step.
Here are the stats on this.
numbers.
Sorry for the numbers guys over here. 6 million people have quit their jobs, quote unquote, low paying jobs is what they're calling it. I don't know if 50 grand is a low paying job. But basically, after acquiring all this crypto wealth, here's some stats for you. 11%, obviously this is a survey. 11% of the 6,700 respondents, people who were surveyed, admitted to having to quit their jobs or knowing someone who quit their jobs after gaining quote unquote financial freedom from crypto. We'll see what financial freedom is. 64% who quit their jobs say they were earning below $50,000. Can I get a link here?
Yes, sir.
53% said they knew somebody who quit for the same reason. So basically, people know people that are quitting. 54% that crypto has made them wealthier in the past 5 years. No shit. And then get this. You always hear that millennials are going to be the first generation that is not going to be as wealthy as their parents. You've heard this before. Every generation in U.S. history, the kids have been ended up wealthier than their parents. That's the beauty of capitalism in the United States of America. But you hear that millennials are not going to be that generation because of student debt, the economy, the housing, all that. Get this number. 58% of millennials and Gen Z say they believe they will be wealthier than their parents because of crypto. Crypto is changing the world.
Yeah.
Crypto is here and it ain't going anywhere.
Every day it's more. and
Commenting
more
on
in
the
your life.
survey, Shark Tank, a friend of the show, Mark Cuban, says, wow, 4% is the number. 4% of people in the USA have quit their jobs because of crypto gains, and the vast majority made under the $50,000 benchmark. Now we know why so many people quit low-paying jobs, and this was before the latest run-up right here. So this is pretty damn wild.
Right.
Now, if you're 24 years old, you're making 48 grand a year, you're pulling in $4,000 a month, or even less, you're making 30 grand a year, startup job, you got this crypto wealth, you got unemployment because you quit your job or you got laid off because of COVID, and then they're giving you stimmy checks. Why the hell would I go back to work? That explains so much. Okay? I was making 30 grand a year working at Amazon. I invested in Dogecoin and Bitcoin 3 years ago. I was making 30 grand a year. Now I'm sitting at home. I'm getting unemployment checks. You've given me stimulus checks. And the $5,000 I invested in Bitcoin is now $50,000. And you want me to go back and work for your fucking $15 an hour?
Right.
Not happening. So it's understandable. We hear about the inflation. We hear about the unemployment. We hear about the macroeconomics of what's going on in America. A lot of it is because these young people are saying, I ain't going back to your shitty ass job. Here's the flip side though. How long can that last? So if you're used to making 40 grand a year, now you're $50,000 richer. How long is that crypto wealth going to last? A year?
Exactly.
2 years?
Right.
And we all know that even if 50 grand is in your account, 100 grand is in your account, You ain't paying rent with that because you can only acquire the money when you sell.
Right.
So if you sold and now you're cash strong, you don't have any much crypto, now you're using all that money. Maybe you're investing and reinvesting. I don't know. So the question is, how long can you live off this crypto? Not that long, unless you've made hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. So you better have a plan, as they say, to get back into the workforce. And that we talked about on the PBD podcast. When you said your last job was in 2019 and now it's 2022, what the have you been doing for 3 years?
Right.
What are you going to put on your resume? Don't undermine the importance of work. Work is like, you can't just sit around all day doing nothing, unemployed, smoking weed, looking at your crypto gains. At some point, you're going to have to find a profession. At some point, you're going to have to be an expert in anything. Unless you're one of these crypto guys that made literally $1 billion off crypto, you're going to have to work again. I don't think these people are stupid and don't understand that. Maybe they're just not thinking long term. They're thinking, for right now, I'm just going to sit back, collect my checks, watch my Ethereum gains or gains or Dogecoin or Shiba Inu or Bitcoin and just kind of chill for a little while. And you know what? I don't blame them. But you better have a long-term perspective. Thoughts, Marcelo?
I agree. I think everybody's trying to not work is what it seems to be. People are like, crypto's going to be my ticket, baby. Bitcoin, now I don't have to work anymore. It's like no matter what happens, you're probably going to have to work again. So I think the people that are really winning, the people that are really, really winning in crypto are the ones that invested in crypto, whatever they were willing to lose, 10, 15%, whatever. If they're crazy, 20, 30%, they took a big risk. Crypto went to the moon and they kept working their job. Yeah. And they kept grinding and got better at their job while their money was working for them while they were sleeping at night. Those are the people that are really winning. The people that went into crypto and was like, this is my ticket out, it's like some of them are going to make it, right? They're going to be crypto traders for the rest of their life, and then that's just going to be their thing, like day traders for stocks. It's a scary life to live, huh?
When it's this easy, you got to ask yourself, something's up.
Right.
When it's this easy, I have a business partner. He's 50 years old. His son is 20. He says, my son and all his friends are just trading crypto. They've got stupid money for a college kid.
Right.
They've got 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand for a college kid. Dude, I think I had $400 to my name when I was in college. So, yes, these crypto gains are awesome. Congratulations. A lot of Gen Z younger guys, that's awesome. But that ain't going to provide you for the rest of your life. You better have some work ethic.
Right.
You better have some give a fuck level about what you do.
Yeah, I think
it's important.
I don't even think people don't want to work. You know, I don't actually believe that. I think what people don't want, and we covered this, I think maybe episode 3 of the SOSCAST, most Americans just don't want to go back to the office. They don't want to go back to the fucking restaurant. They want to just work from home. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we'll pay you $15 an hour, and you made your thousands off of Bitcoin. I'll work for, I think most people would say, yeah, I'll work $15-17 an hour. If you let me work from home, yeah, I'll work. I don't give a shit. I'll work from home. That hybrid
life. Yeah.
You get that freedom. I think that's what it is. I think most people are down to work. They just want to work from home. And I think episode 3 was like 60% of Americans would work from home. Like, we continue working from home forever.
David, locked in, dialed in. Either way, we all agree you got to be working, whether you're making money on crypto or not. At some point, you get it back in the workplace. So some people are living off crypto. Some people got to live off tips. So let's talk about this next story before we wrap up episode 15 of the SOSCAST with our friend Marcelo Hernandez and David Opata, fresh off the boat from New York today. It's about taking your chances or seizing the opportunity when it shows up. Here's a story about good old Shaq. Shaq is in the news every day these days, it seems, when it comes to business, finance, DJ, music, crypto, investments, Shaq Tank. So here's a story. It's just a little more interesting story. So here Shaq goes again. So Shaq, he's a helper. I feel like everyone would say that Shaq is a man of the people.
Yeah.
As big as he is, I feel like his heart is just as big. Okay? You know how he calls himself Superman?
Yeah.
He wears the little thing. I think he's like Superman of the people. I really do believe that. So he helps people. He helps charities. He helps distressed communities. He helps people in need. And he helps people when he eats. So get this. When Shaq eats out, here's what he does. He says, listen, I tell the staff, I want my food quickly, and the quicker I get it, the bigger tip you're going to get. Imagine if Shaq shows up at your restaurant. Shaq shows up. I'll do the lobster. I'll do the steak. I'll do another lobster and steak. And the quicker I get it, the bigger your tip you'll be. How quickly are you going to get this guy's
You know
food?
what I do? You know what I do? Right when he tells me that, I go to the chef and I go, hey, buddy, Shaquille O'Neal's sitting at this table, and I'm willing to give you 5% of my tip if you make sure we get it out before anything else comes out here in this whole kitchen.
Yeah, I'd say go fuck yourself. This place is packed. I'm not gonna. I don't care. Like it's just
That's what you would say?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean that's also
He just came out and called you.
Such a shitty thing to say.
What?
Hey, the faster I get what I ordered, the more I'll pay
Well, wait
you.
till you see how the
Yeah,
story ends and
fuck
you
off,
tell
bro.
me. Oh, you're going to tell Shaq
I'm
to
not-
fuck off?
Yeah, because it's like I'm
First
not
of
gonna
all,
rush.
Let me tell you something,
First
buddy.
of all, that's a normal rule of dining. The quicker I get my food, the better your
Yeah,
tip.
but
The
there's
better you
also-
treat
Better
me.
the service.
The better you treat me, the
Okay.
better I treat you. What do you
Okay,
mean,
yeah, but
though?
also I'm not gonna buy your way to the front of the queue. There were people waiting, bro.
No,
I don't care what you've
David,
done.
you
Yeah,
are
but they-
so
but
wrong
they're
on this
not
one,
gonna
bro.
Yeah,
You are
screw
so
it.
wrong on this
No,
one.
I don't care.
No.
No.
You maybe you're
gonna
right
make my
on-
life more stressful.
You're
so-
just salty because of Staples Center right now.
Stressful. He's
Yeah.
trying to give you a massive tip if you
That's
can
like
work
if
for it.
Saws, when we're putting out his content, and we have a bunch of stuff, he goes, hey, the faster you put mine out, the more I gotta
For
go through
$5,000, you're not going to get my short clip out?
Yeah, exactly, you dumbass.
Yeah, that
you
short
would.
clip.
You
That short
idiot.
clip's going out in 1 minute.
100%.
By the way, if I'm the chef or the waiter, I take the food off some stupid person's fucking plate and give it to Shaq
No way.
immediately. Immediately.
way.
Shaq shows up, he rules. That's it. I'll get out of this seat right now. So he says, I'm at the restaurants. I'd love to show the people my appreciation. You know,
Yeah,
quicker the
by
food, the bigger the
rushing
tip.
them.
He says, when we get ready to leave, I'll straight up say to the waiter, the server, what do you want? Name your price. Straight up.
And
The
then
guy
in
goes,
which
What is
moment?
he, Robert
in which moment?
Baratheon?
In which he goes, David. He goes, David. I'd like to give you a tip. What do you want? And David goes, what the hell, Shaq? This is
I don't
so
expect anything from you.
This is so
Just give me
weird.
like 20% and I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, your alter ego, this server said, I'll take $4,000. And Shaq goes, done. $4,000 tip.
Done.
On a $200 check.
Boom.
Done.
Bang.
That's the biggest tip he ever gave. He said $400. Why? Because the guy asked
I
for
think
it.
you know what? If I'm the chef and the waiter, hey, I'll give you go fuck yourself, bro. I got a whole fucking.
Tim, I don't think
5%
anybody
of
believes
it.
with you on this one. Nobody's with you.
I
on
don't
this
know.
one.
Brother, if I guarantee you a percentage of Shaquille O'Neal's fat ass tip, it's $4,000 tip. God knows how much you're making this evening. You're the chef. I'm telling you, hey, let's get this lobster out a little quicker because maybe Shaq's gonna give us the money for the money.
Listen, let me tell you something about Shaq, bro. You know how they say
I don't know. I can't
money,
be bought.
They say money doesn't change you, it reveals who you are. And what this reveals is Shaq is the freaking man, dude. What this reveals is Shaq's worth $400 million at this point. He's giving it out.
he could give a shit,
Name your
yeah.
tip, $4,000 done.
He's just
He's going into Walmart. He's buying people's stuff. He was going to sign a deal with Nike for his shoes. He said, nah, you're too expensive. I'm going to go with Reebok so more people can afford the shoes. Shaq is the Superman of the people, David. Don't be messing with Shaq.
Would you guys get tipped out by him or something?
Shaq paid us $5,000 to
Not
give
yet,
this segment
not
right now.
yet, but I guarantee you something. If Shaq walks in here today, me and Adam are getting tips, and you're getting nothing.
Damn,
Nada.
honestly, it would be kind of hard to be like, well, no, I don't want it because I already said it on the SOSCAST. No, I think it now as I'm
of
thinking
course.
about it, maybe.
Now,
Anyway, shout out to
interesting-
Shaq.
Interesting perspective here. Somebody said, I agree with David. Weird. He
One
goes,
person.
I agree with David. There's a story of Giannis going to a restaurant and waiting in line even though he was offered to cut the line.
That's a different story. Okay, okay. All right.
Thank you, Kenny.
Well played. Anyway, Shaq, no denying the guy's a man of the people. Much respect. to-
Also, if Shaq asks you how much money you want on your tip,
Yeah, why
Be
would
honest.
you? Yeah, why would you say $4,000?
what do you mean? Why would you say $4,000?
I don't know.
I'll
That
say
probably
more.
was like how much he owed. I don't. Who knows?
Exactly. I'm just saying, take that opportunity. Don't walk in and become Mr. Mother Teresa. No, Shaq, I don't do this for the money. I do it because I love to serve people. Get your money, bro. If you need a couple grand and you're down, go Shaq. I'll be honest with you, brother. I need $2,000, and maybe he won't.
You're
give it
getting
to you,
it,
but you might get it, dude. And this could happen at any time.
Seize the moment.
That's
what
the
Dave's
case.
saying.
Shoot for the
All right,
stars.
Let's move on, and don't forget to tip your waiters. And let's move on. Here's our final story of the day. Then we'll move on to Q&A. We've said we're going to try to keep it an hour. There's no chance it's going to be an hour. Thank you for being with us at the SOSCAST. Guess where all the rich people are moving? Where all the frickin' rich people are moving. Guess how much Jeff Bezos, currently the second richest man in the world, just bought a house. What state?
Florida.
Hawaii.
Yeesh.
Jeff Bezos just bought a $78 million compound in Hawaii. Okay? $78 million. How do you have a $78 million house? What does that even mean? Okay. Miami, Star Island, LA, Calabasas, the Hollywood Hills,
Right.
But the real savages, I feel like, are going to Hawaii, right, Marcelo?
That's where
Thank
they're
you for that
moving.
intro. So he just added another property to his Amazon cart, so to speak. So his lady friend and him, Lauren Sanchez, they bought a 14-acre Maui estate, Maui, Hawaii. It includes a 4,500 square foot main house, a 1,700 square foot guest house, because you got to have a guest house,
Right,
obviously.
for guests.
And a massive ass 700 square foot swimming pool, which includes a fish pond and a private beach. Well played, Mr. Bezos. Something tells me that you're going to be able to afford your mortgage for this one. Golf clap goes to you. But other high-profile people are also moving to Hawaii. Who has moved there? None other than our friend
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq is not in Hawaii. He's got to do his stuff on TNT. Zook has a place there.
Mark
Mark
has
Zuckerberg.
a few places there.
Right. He recently, I guess, expanded what he currently owns to a total of 1,300 acres in Kauai. And then Oracle Larry Ellison, one of the more eccentric big tech billionaires, he owns his own island there on the island of Lanai.
He owns most of the island.
Most of the island. I apologize. There's some part of the island for his staff. And then Queen Oprah also owns a major property in Hawaii. So, look, these are next level wealthy people buying property in Hawaii, okay? So here's the game that I want to play before we wrap up. David, you're now worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
Because we said
'Cause
after
that
100
episode,
episodes,
yeah.
you're now worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
You can go move anywhere you want, live anywhere you want.
Boca.
Where you living?
Boca.
You're moving to Boca Raton, Florida.
Anywhere I want. I don't know. Somewhere I could go and watch all the Chelsea games whenever I want. Somewhere in the heart of West London.
So you're moving to London.
West
Your
London.
life is based around your Chelsea football club.
Perfect
team.
world. Yeah, I live in West
Okay.
London, a beautiful apartment. I go and I watch Chelsea every day, and I follow them across Europe.
Fair
every
enough.
season.
Marcelo. Hold on. Before Marcelo. Guys, you're worth $1 billion. You're Zuck. You're Larry Ellison. You're freaking Bezos. You're Oprah. You've got hundreds of millions of dollars. You can live anywhere you want. Put it in the comments. Where would you live? Marcelo, it is now on you. People are making comments in the comments section.
If I could live anywhere in the world, I don't know, dude. Like right now, like at 24 years old,
Yeah.
I get the Billy, and now I can be anywhere. I don't know. I'd probably live in like a penthouse in like New York or something.
I like that.
That would be a good second option.
I'd probably live in a penthouse.
I know
in New
my
York.
answer. I'm going to do a half and half approach. 6 months out of the year, straight up, living in South Beach, Florida, buddy. The best place to be in the world in the wintertime. Right now is wintertime. 6 months out of the year. In the summertime, you will not catch me in Miami. You will not catch me in Florida. You will not catch me in the South. I'm traveling. I'm going to New York. I'm going to Europe. I'm taking off, baby. I'm taking off.
3 months
going
with
to
Marcelo,
Italy.
3 months with
3
me.
months. 3 months with you in London. 3 months with Marcelo.
This guy said, "Where would you live?" He didn't say,
Yeah.
"Could you break down
I'm-
your life
I'm
for
living-
me?" I mean, Jesus. This guy's like, "I think I might also put some money in Bitcoin." It's like, no, brother. Where would you live? You got a Billy.
I just said South Beach, but I'm not going to live there all year long.
Whatever, dude.
Do you think these guys are living in Hawaii all year?
Pick a place.
Just
This
don't-
guy's in the heart of
don't-
West London in
don't
a
be-
beautiful
don't be-
apartment.
don't-
I'm in a penthouse in New York. You're the only one that gets to travel.
Don't be mad that you didn't think about traveling, buddy. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. By the way,
I would change my answer.
This coming
Right.
this coming out December, speaking of New York, you can catch Marcelo being featured at many of the comedy clubs in New York City. He's going to be at the
Stand Comedy Club.
He's going to be at the Stand Comedy Club and the
comic strip, hopefully.
and the comic strip, hopefully, and
Sounds
certainly not
elated.
the Grizzly Pear.
No, we'll be at the, we love the, we still
we'll be at
love the
Pear.
Grizzly Pear.
Okay.
We got
Anyway.
respect for the pear.
Respect to you guys out there. I think we're
Pear of the
brothers.
Big Apple.
Remember where you came from.
Remember where you came from. Let's do a quick little Q&A. We'll answer some of the best questions out there, and then we'll wrap up today. David, if you while I'm pulling this up, maybe you can find some of the best places that people want to live while they got that money.
Young John said Wuhan, China. I heard it's beautiful in the
Oh
spring.
my God. Wuhan, China, this guy says.
Eder, penthouse suite in Medellin, Colombia.
Holy moly.
Will L, personally Japan, but it would be fun to. Okay, next.
Dude, Japan would be
Jerusalem,
Jerusalem.
Dubai, Hollywood Hills.
Hollywood Hills. Someone said Fresno, California. Okay, Josh. Rubens in Jerusalem. Salt E Nuts in Chicago. Great name, buddy.
Coffee shop just said penthouse, somewhere expensive.
Tagua says Texas. You gotta think outside the box, buddy. I'm with Saz. I like Javier. It says I'm with Saz. 6 months Florida would be dope. Summer's too hot though. Yep. And then you got Josh saying on a private jet and or a private yacht. Marcelo, he's traveling. All right, let's get into some of this Q&A. I asked on the latest Instagram post that I did on Saz Talks Money Instagram /valuetainment. How do you feel about NFTs? How do you feel about NFTs? We've got about 200 respondents so far. What do you think the percentage is of how they feel about NFTs? Is it the future or not a believer? Thoughts? What do you think it's going to be? Go ahead, David.
The NFTs future.
Future? What percentage? What percentage?
60.
60-40?
Don't care.
Give a number, Marcelo.
No, man, I don't care about NFTs. Work on yourself. Stop worrying about NFTs and get better at your
Marcelo
job. That's
playing.
my 2 cents.
83% said that they believe NFTs are the future. 17% not a believer. Answering some of your guys' questions. Will the government, this is from Mateo, will the government regulate crypto? If so, how can that affect the investors? You better believe some sort of regulation is coming and some sort of taxation is coming. So just be aware of it while we're wrapping things up over here. That is a concern. Here we go. What number do you stop? Okay, I love this question. It's from Jeremy Clay, my guy. He says, what number do you stop saving money and put that into a brokerage account? And what should you look for in a brokerage account? The method for the madness. Number one, the cushion. For me, it's $10,000 or whatever the number is that you do not have to worry about your bills for a solid 6 to 12 months. I tend to think more closer to 12. But at some point, you got to move on. And we talked about inflation. You got to move on from being a saver to an investor. The red light, yellow light, green light effect. Debt is get out of debt, start to save. After you save, start to invest. Go from red to yellow. To verde. I'm trying to buy an M3. I assume that is a Benz or a Beamer. Beamer?
That's a Beamer.
That's a Beamer. They run about 55K used. How much should I be making a year? Damn. I would say if you're going to spend 55 grand on a car, you're paying cash for it? Are you making payments?
Akon says you need to have that. It can't be more than 10%. I think he said.
Yeah.
It's got to be 10% of what you have. So you got to have $550,000
if you're going to buy that cash.
if you're going to buy that cash.
That seems a little high for me. However, I do agree with Akon. These are depreciating assets. If you're going to be making payments, I would say at most 15 to 20% of whatever you're making or whatever you're worth. At most, making, not what you're worth. Here's a question from Strength with Purpose. Saz, love your show. $30,000 saved up, $17,000 in a CMA maxed out Roth. What's next? Dude, keep contributing to that Roth. That's gangster. You're doing it. Congratulations. At some point, that $30,000 in that Roth is going to be $100,000. I've been there. I've done that. I feel you. That $100,000 at some point is going to be $200,000. Then it's going to be $500,000. Then you'll be a millionaire with that type of mentality. Keep it up. A lot of people looking for jobs here at Valuetainment. A lot of people. What REITs would you buy? I like this question. Crazy cool. There's a thing called Fundrise. I actually need to get in touch with these guys. There's a place called Fundrise where you can invest in real estate without actually having to own real estate. We got to get in touch with the people at Fundrise. It's a great investment. REITs. He's about the stock market crash. Can you talk about the stock market crash and what to do as an investor? Go watch the episode that we did 2 episodes ago about the Kiyosaki market crash. Stop worrying about the crash and just steady wins the race, my friend. Steady win the race. Not related to money, but how does one overcome anxiety? Not a doctor, not pretending to do that, but getting out of your comfort zone. Not easy. We talked about this in networking. Getting out of your comfort zone, not easy.
Planning, baby.
But your comfort zone will kill you. You got to plan. You got to show up. You got to not be nervous. You got to be willing to look foolish sometimes and be uncomfortable, and that's where growth starts to happen. Last question. It's a Thanksgiving question. Is turkey overrated? I think turkey is overrated. I'm sorry. I'd rather have steak. I'd rather have chicken.
I'll tell
I
you
think
what.
turkey's a little overrated. Go ahead.
It makes sense to me, Sosnick. How old are you now?
I'm 40.
You're 40. How many Thanksgivings is that?
40.
A lot. I'm 24. I still think turkey's good. I think it's fun and tasty.
That's
but
right.
When I'm 40, I'm sure I'll be tired of it. I can almost guarantee I'll be tired of it.
Thank you, buddy. A couple quick questions. Caleb Prez says, I'm 18 and trying to find a second source of income. Any tips? If you're 18, find one source of income. Find one source of income.
He's already got one.
Double down on that. Make more
Double
money
down.
with that. If you're 18, I doubt you're making double income unless you're the crypto guy. Get a job, work hard, work your ass off. Work. Underrated.
Work is
Love
underrated.
work. Love work. That's it. A lot of questions. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate responses. Much love, much respect. Marcelo, final thoughts being here on the SOSCAST today.
Man, thank you so much for having me, Sosnick. I had a great time. And to everybody out there, stop worrying so much and work harder.
Love that. That's all. That's all for our SOSCAST today. You know where I'm going to leave you with this in a second. That's all for the SOSCAST today. Thank you for being. We'll be back next Thursday for Thanksgiving, eating that turkey. So until then, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and before Thanksgiving, remember to save that money. We out of here.